Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new NuWhoZone. We are here for Matt Smith's series, obviously series 6 it is now, and we are at the episode closing times. Obviously, this episode is not really a favorite of mine. Never really kind of liked it, but be interesting to watch it again. We will base the episode on its merits, not the actors that are in it that have said stuff over the past few years. That's not what we do on this. Someone actually sent me a tweet on Twitter and says, "Oh, I can't wait for this stream because you're going to bash James Corden for the next few hours." Nope. We'll be watching the episode and we will be, obviously reviewing the episode, and that's it. We don't care what actors and actresses have said personally since then. We judge the episode on its merits. So I just wanted to make that clear because that's what we do on this channel when we do these episodes. It's the same when Clara comes up as well later on when she makes her appearance. We'll be doing the same thing, even though there's a lot of fans out there that don't like Clara Oswald as a character. We will actually review these episodes on merit and the performances. So that's what we do. So let's bring on our panel for tonight. I've sent out emails to everybody. So Alpha, if you're listening, I don't see it in the chat, but if you're listening, I've sent you an email as well. So we'll bring on the guests that we do have right now joining us. Lee will not be joining us tonight because he's very busy getting Rabbi's video done and all these other videos that he has to get done. So God love him, he was up all night, born in the midnight oil, as they say. So I haven't seen him around yet on social media. So the poor man is probably bleeding his sleep. God love him. Hopefully we'll see him in the chat there pretty soon. But let's bring on our guests. And we're going to start off with royalty, as usual. We've got the one and only Queen Charlotte.
I'm going to say this now. When we get to Clara, don't expect any nice things from me. I cannot stand Clara.
I do like Victorian Clara, as we've all said. Actually, I think we've all said on this channel over several times that Victorian Clara. He should have stuck with Victorian Clara, but he went
modern Clara. I cannot stand. But that's not to do the actress, to be fair. I think she's a really good actress. It's the character.
Exactly. A few people in the say they have their DVD ready. Well, that's good. I have mine in ready to go as well. Well, I haven't put it on yet, but we'll wait till we get all the other guests on, and then we'll get going. Cardwich says, feeling sick at the mo, have an infection, so might not be around much in the chat. That's okay. Get well soon.
Yeah, well, as I've got a cough, love, so I understand that's what it'll be if I suddenly my mic goes off and my camera goes off.
That's what I mean. Some people don't mind Clara. Again, it will be very interesting because at the time there's a lot of fans that didn't like her character. It'll be interesting when we do that series that she features heavily in. We'll see if our opinions change. And they kind of have quite a lot since we've been doing these new Who. Watching episodes where we haven't liked it in the past, where we've kind of said, oh, actually this is not too bad. So you never know. But our next guest, we got another woman on the panel. Apparently I hate women, but we got another woman joining us on the panel tonight. It's the one and only Melina Vader.
Hi.
Hello, Libby. It's great to be on the stream with you.
And there's our nice little avatar there. It just happens to be Chris Chin Balls. Welcome. Nice to see you. Oh, she's already.
No. He's laughing already. This is not good. The rest of us are not good.
This is going to be a fun stream, folks. This is going to be a fun second stream, I can tell you.
Melina, I can't laugh, Libby. I'm going to get me coughing even more.
Oh, here we go now. Here we go. Well, it's nice to hear you laugh. Our next guest, so to even up the panel, we have another bloke joining us. So it's the one and only PD Rich.
Hey, how is everyone tonight?
Not too bad. As you can hear, Melina is already starting.
We've not even got to James Corden yet.
I know.
Yeah.
God.
I know. Tuesday is going to be fun when we do a Rick and Morty bleeding stream. I can tell you that's going to be hilarious again. We'll have a big panel for that one as well, as you know. Interesting. Thank you, Stephen. If you haven't watched me last video, our live stream, I did a brief live stream before we come on tonight. So they picked the actor for this Jimmy Savile drama that they're doing on BBC, and I'll give me thoughts on it. I've also left a load of links in the link description just in case for any of our followers, subscribers, I should say, that are over the other side of the pond and beyond. There are a few documentaries. As I said, it's not for the faint-hearted, so but this will give you an idea how depraved this man actually was. So if you're brave enough, go and check out my video and check out the links to the documentary. I put a couple of documentaries up and a few other bits and bobs as well, so you can understand what this man is all about. But let's get away from that because we're here, obviously, for some new Who. So what I'm going to do now is, without further ado, I'm going to get my bleeding DVD ready. And I've cleaned the disc. I've cleaned the disc.
You shouldn't skip on you again.
So I won't skip. I've cleaned the disc now because last week we were watching and I was like 20 minutes ahead of everybody and they were like, no, what are you talking about?
We're not even on that scene yet.
Not even on that scene yet. It was like miles ahead of everybody. And trust me, it wasn't done deliberately because last week's episode, I was actually, I'm a huge fan of the God Complex. So I was kind of annoyed because, I messed it up. Right, where's my bloody earphones actually? Hold on, give us a second. Do you just want to actually, guys, on the panel briefly, tell people how you felt about this episode? Oh, there's Lee. Lee's in the chat.
Yeah.
So
Hi, Lee.
And stuff, but Charlotte wants to say something to you, Lee. So go ahead, Charlotte.
Oh, just that I really, really appreciate what you're doing for my bit for the video, and you will get a lovely long email once it's done, being very gushing about it because I think you'll do a brilliant job. So thank you very much.
Well,
I can just do streams. I can't do any other technical stuff. So thank you.
Hi, Lee. I don't know if you can hear. Is he still in the chat?
Oh. He probably is.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Lee. I'm worried about you because he's working too much. I told him.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Trust me. What'll happen is, he'll work for a couple of nights. He'll work himself to death, and then he'll take two days. Then he'll go missing, and he'll catch up on all his sleep. He's like a bloody robot. But that's what he does. But great to see Melina here. Have a great night, people. We will indeed. And as I said, we'll see you Tuesday for Rick and Morty. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh gosh,
that'll be a fun stream. But as I said, get something to eat, right? And make sure you get some sleep as well. I'm always saying that to him anyway, but make sure, Charlotte, Charlotte will do you proud. Thanks, Melina. We'll get this done. He'll be grand. Trust me, I'm used to him now. The first time that he went missing,
we all worried.
Yeah,
we all worried, but now we're used to what he does. So he'll work for a couple of nights really hard, and then he'll crash out then for a couple of days. He'll be fine.
I worry too much.
But just have something to eat. Make sure you're eating, drinking plenty of fluids, as they say. Jesus, I'm like the doctor here. Yeah, make sure you drink plenty of fluids. That doesn't even sound right when I say that. Drink fluids. Plenty of fluids. Yeah, Melina is just laughing. It's nothing. Melina just laughs at him. So
we've not even given her a reason to yet. So God help her when we do give her a reason to, because then it's just going to be like 10 times more.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about because I'm the most serious of the group. So
before we start, I'm going to see if Alpha is around because I don't want Mr. Passively aggressively having a go at me in the chat. about not sending him a link. So I'm gonna send him a message there to say I've sent you an email. Yeah, I can't. Look, I haven't seen this episode since it aired.
It's been years since I've watched it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I only watched it like once because I thought the episode was okay. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't something like I would watch over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a throwaway one, isn't it? A bit.
I did like they removed the Cybus logo off the finally removed that Cybus logo off the Cybermen though. It was a bit silly.
Yeah, it kind. I mean, I did like. Well, I think I'm getting way ahead of reviewing. We watched it, but I like the dynamic between Matt Smith and James Corden. I won't lie, but like
Yeah,
I
no,
said, yeah.
I almost think maybe if they would have kept the core bit of the Doctor having to work in like a shop and having to sort of be normal, but they took away the cyber stuff, I think this might have worked better. This story, I think it's like the whole like idea of, like I said, him being in a shop and coming back to Craig at a point and sort of having to work undercover works. But then when you get to the Cybermen stuff, it just doesn't make sense the way they're acting in this story and the way they're written.
I agree. I completely agree.
The part that annoyed me most about the episode, though, is the whole Cybermen can be defeated by love.
Yeah.
That's the thing that annoyed me about this episode. But again, at the time, you know, a lot of people, whether you're a fan of James Corden or not, a lot of people did love the dynamic between the two of them. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch again and see do we still have that same opinion. But yeah, the cyber stuff was kind of a bit weird. And,
yeah, that's a bit almost.
I love his interaction with the kids, though. I do love Matt Smith's interaction with the kids in this, and Stormageddon, isn't Stormageddon? Yeah, that's
what the baby calls himself.
May I ask something? Was James Corden already well known before he was
only
on
in the UK? Only in the UK.
Yeah, this was before Melina. He went to America to get like the big sort of star he had.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was well known here.
The fight with Matt Horn.
Okay. Okay.
He was well known here.
Before he started drinking the soy milk and stuff, and
yeah. I think this is just after the fat fight. He had the massive falling out with Matt Horn.
Yeah.
So going solo, yeah.
Yeah. They recently made up those two, but still, they got together for the Gavin and Stacey episode, which I still haven't watched.
Professional friends.
I still haven't watched that. Now, I loved Gavin and Stacey, but I never watched the one where they came back for it. I still haven't watched it yet. But apparently there was loads of complaints about it, so I don't know.
Here's the thing, I probably did watch it, but I can't tell you what happened in it. I've completely blanked it out. I did watch it, I've got a feeling.
Thanks, Unknown. Yeah, there's a minisode to this one.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, minisode.
Oh, is there?
Thank you, Unknown.
Hold on, because I have to probably go into the special features then. Right.
He says what did he say? He said it's called, he thinks, for people who are trying to find it, like me on YouTube, All Night. It's some so.
Is it Night and the Doctor Up All Night?
I think so. Yes, the one.
Up All Night as the title. So.
Yeah, I have it there. Yeah, so we're watching the prequel first, folks. You'll get it on YouTube. I'm gonna pause it there. You'll get it on YouTube.
That's what I'm doing, folks. So that one I find, it's come up already.
Do me a favor, PD. Can you do me a favor and search it on YouTube there and whack it in the chat for everybody so we can, everybody can actually join us for that little part. I don't know. Alpha could be back in work. I'm not sure if he said he was back in work, but I did send him a message to say I sent you the link, but we'll see if he turns up. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, I can hear someone's now. I can hear it now in the background.
Not me.
I'm not playing any video. I'm literally just searching YouTube right now.
Why is mine coming out? That's weird.
Yeah, I can hear it there. Will you? There, I can hear it.
Will you?
Oh, Oh no, I'm saying it's not on YouTube.
Mutes ourselves or something while you're watching it. At least do that for me, because I can't have the sound.
Is that just stopped?
Yeah, I can't hear anything now.
Yeah.
PD.
What is mine doing?
Yeah, and no, just said it's not on YouTube, so it might be a bit awkward to actually watch this one if it's not on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enigmatic Joker says it as well. I can hear sound in the background. Yeah, I heard the title sequence. So you just have to be careful, folks. Come on, because you know what bleeding BBC I like with my YouTube channel.
May I have the link?
Literally every Doctor Who video I'm doing now, or stream I'm doing now.
No, I can't seem to find it.
Yeah, he says it. He thinks it could be in Daily Motion, apparently, which is a bit harder to...
Yeah.
Oh.
It should be on it. Here, put in the title. Put in the name of the title of it.
And nothing's coming up, mate. It's everything else is coming up.
What's the title? Excuse me, what's the title? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got it. Daily Motion.
No. The
What's the title, PD?
I can still hear it. Yes, we'll have to mute yourself.
No, it's not mine then. Mine's completely muted.
I'm not playing anything.
I'm not playing anything. I'm not even iPlayer isn't playing right now. So something is coming through, but I don't know from who then, because I'm not playing anything.
I know. I can actually hear it.
It might come from yours. How could that be? You must have it really loud in your earphones for that to get getting sound bleed like that.
It's exclusive to the DVD, so I think it's hard to find. Right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to watch the prequel ourselves then. And then when we get into the episode...
I got to reboot it.
When we get into the episode, we will tell you to press play. So that's what we'll do.
It's reversed, but I found one.
Can you give me one moment, please? I think it might be the HBO Max. I'm not sure. Sometimes they throw in some specials. Let me see. I don't see it.
Like I said, if there's a bit more of an exclusive one, it will be harder to find. Because some of the words just thrown on.
Yeah, Unknown sent me a link. I think it's on Daily Motion, apparently.
Okay.
So if anybody could throw the Daily Motion, that would be fantastic. If you can't,
I've just thrown in a chat as well. I think it might be the same one, but it's reversed.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter.
Can you put in the private chat then for Melina, and I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
Basically, the link you just put in the.
There you go. It's that.
Thank you.
Right. When you guys on the panel are ready, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. It's playing.
If you use the embedded video, you can get it without ads, says Unknown.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I haven't got a clue what that means because I'm not tech savvy.
Can't seem to find the embed button.
Thank you, PD, for the link.
Okay.
I got it.
Can't seem to find the bloody embed button. Was it said? No, I can't seem to find the button.
Yeah, you guys play it when I'm ready. I'm not too bothered with the prequels, so.
Right. Right, so we're going to play the prequel first before we do the episode. Right, so we'll get Charlotte to do the countdown for the prequel. This is not the episode now. This is the prequel first. I'll let you know when we're doing the episode. So just bear with me. Okay, so Charlotte, if you'd like to press one. Jesus. If you'd like to do the countdown, go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so here we go. Up All Night, it's called, by Stephen Moffat. Who authorized this? What have I breaking? Jesus Christ. This is very low on this. Or maybe I need to turn up my volume.
You did the deed, buddy. You did the deed.
You got the girl, so She'll be happy.
Yeah.
Then let's be fair, he was punching above his weight with the actress they picked for the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hmm. I actually remember watching this prequel. Actually, now.
I didn't see the prequels until DVDs came out.
Yeah, I
Sadly.
never watched them, even when they were sort of well known. Don't know why. I just was never interested.
Yeah, the BBC Red Button service as well.
Yeah, it was Red Button from my memory.
Yeah, I never hit the red button.
I literally think the only prequel I ever bothered because it was obviously Paul McGann was The Night of the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's the only one I think I ever watched. And that was my first watching of McGann because I hadn't seen the movie at that point.
This is me. See the music playing in the background. I love that music. That theme music. I love it. There you go. Was that simple? Is that it? Is that it?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that was a waste of time. Okay. Well done, Moffat. That was a waste of time, mate.
They progressively got like that, his prequels. It was like some would be
Yeah.
actually worth them, and most of them were just like, did you have a bit of extra time, Stephen? And you just wanted to film something?
Yeah, it looks like deleted scenes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Turn them into minisodes. Yeah.
Right, guys. Everybody in the chat, if you're ready to play the episode, please press 1 and we'll get going on this story. Hold on, I might as well just get this ready. Right, it's paused. Okay, so if everybody in the chat is ready, please press 1. What's that noise in the background?
Yeah, that's really weird.
I'm sorry. I think those are my wind chimes.
Oh,
It
no.
sounded like an ice cream van.
Yeah, it's.
I
I thought it was a
in the
Puerto Rican
balcony.
ice cream van.
No, the
I'm
wind
sorry.
chimes.
Yeah,
No,
I can
what I
mute.
can hear it in the background sounds deadly. Sounds
Yeah,
deadly.
we got quite a few ones, so are we ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go. So we got a gent sign on the railings there, and we got this supermarket thing with the lights flicking and stuff, and there we go. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna mute because the wind chime is going crazy.
But it's alright, love. They're not that loud. We can just hear
It's not
something.
bad.
Now I'm thinking, he must have known this was going to have a bit of a homage to Rose.
Yeah.
But like working in a sort of shop like this, it's
Wasn't
very
it supposed to be
similar.
the same department store, the rebuilt version?
See, knowing what the show could be like at this point, it could be a rebuilt, and
Yeah.
it's like a nice bit
The
of
whole thing blew
linking.
up, didn't it? Yeah.
Well, yes, that makes sense. So it could easily be rebuilt on Rose's.
Yeah.
Melina needs a timestamp. We've just
1 minute.
started, so just
Yeah,
press
1
play.
minute now.
1
1
minute.
minute? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
probably
you.
1 minute 10 seconds now.
Gotcha. Thank you. 1:15?
Yep, just gone.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
I do actually like Craig. I do like.
Oh,
I
he's a
do.
likable character. He is.
Yeah. It's another one of defining the artist from the art from the artist.
It really is.
Yeah, separating the art from
That's
the
it.
artist.
That's it.
I'm back to ruin your life.
His face is like, oh
Yeah.
God. Isn't it very?
Love that jacket he wears.
Oh, see, I think it suits Matt. I really do.
Ah! Sorry, I just noticed something.
Very kind of World War One, but of different colours.
Did he say that? Oh, you just redecorated. I don't like it. You know, that's the running
Yeah, they
gag
probably
when they
did.
change
Yeah.
the TARDIS. Like, oh,
So
you
Deep Space
redecorated. I
Nine
don't
one.
like it.
It's got new carpet. Don't like
Yeah.
it.
Well, they did that in the 50th, didn't they? When Tennant
Yeah.
went into Matt's. They did that whole
Yeah.
line, and he pulled a proper little face, like almost like a Troughton face, actually.
Oh my god, I can't live like that. Sorry.
So this is what I do like when they do. Like I said, if it's a better story, I like the idea of having a one-off sort of character, and then
Yeah.
in the next series coming back and just having like another one-off adventure. I think that's a good idea. And I think Moffat very much liked this idea of, like, obviously Russell had the interconnective sort of characters he liked to do and all the things going on. But I think Moffat's thing was more he liked to have certain characters that his Doctor would go back to. And I think that was sort of his thing he really wanted to push in the show.
Man, this is giving me like feels again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No.
Companion Light episode as well.
Well, we had the last episode was a Doctor like one, wasn't it? So they probably did that on purpose if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Roberts! I forgot Roberts wrote this.
Ooh, this is a dodgy episode. No.
No, I completely forgot he'd written this one.
No. That's what I said about the news the other day. Does that mean that
No, he
John
said on
Barrowman
Twitter,
and Gareth Roberts are
did you
forgiven?
not see the thing on Twitter with Gareth Roberts? Somebody said, "Oh,
No.
would you come back?"
I'm a little behind. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
no, read
4
it.
minutes 30 coming up.
Yeah, basically, PD on Twitter, somebody said, with the news of Russell coming back, would you be up for writing? And I won't repeat what he said,
Yeah.
but it was basically, I would rather.
It's definitely a
jump off.
no.
Yes, it was a very strong no.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in Messenger what he said.
Yeah, I had
the
a
stream.
feeling. I had a feeling it would be like that.
It was
I wonder
very
if Barrowman's
Gareth.
going to be back though.
No, he's sadly he won't be allowed anywhere near the show.
That's a
now.
shame. He's back at ITV.
Yeah, ITV I think are going to give him a chance.
Yeah, it's because it's Fremantle's now owned by Murdoch, so Murdoch's probably going to stick their finger.
Well, the thing, he wants to make money, that fella, so he won't care.
Exactly.
Whereas BBC care about their image more. So
yeah. That's why I'm getting rid of all the Simon Cowell stuff because it's not selling anymore. It's costing more than it's making.
Yep.
Nappy.
Peasants.
What? I don't remember that.
Sure.
My name. It's not a very common name.
No. That's really good in this.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
just-
weird, yeah.
I just love Matt in this scene. See, this is the thing. He goes through. This is how clever he is. He's already suspicious. See?
Yeah, this is a Doctor wasting time as well.
Oh yeah, because he knows where where he's heading.
Well, yeah, he just said a farewell tour, didn't he? So
Yeah.
Wow.
But if you think about the last episode, he's just dropped off Amy and Rory, so that's still playing on in his head.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if he's almost. If you think about the
Yeah,
timing,
he just wants to go, right? Because he knows there's something up, but the Doctor can't. That's what I love about his Doctor, because he can't turn away or ignore stuff. He has to go and investigate.
Exactly.
Oh, hi Neil, Script Doctor's just popped in. I had fun despite all the technical issues, mate, so thank you.
I have to say, we've been enjoying these new Who watch-alongs.
Oh, this is the scene I love. This is my in the toy shop.
This is one of my favourites.
But that it's your parents' cash. Like this is how the doctor would talk if he was doing a job. He would say stuff he shouldn't say.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, oh god, I miss this kind of doctor.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just wow.
Melina, you got me. You don't have to apologise on the stream. You know, you're Capaldi. I'm Matt. So that's why I so want him back for the 60th, Matt. I just so
So
want
do
it
I.
now. Because I think
yeah,
he would be like, if you think about how good he is here, and this was like, he'd done work obviously before Doctor Who, but this was the thing that launched him.
Yes.
And he's had so many big roles since. So I would just so want to see what he'd do with the role now if he was in like a 60th.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I'm with you.
It's like that maturity. Like, what would he bring to his doctor? Now he's
Look at the way he's rubbing the dog. Look at the way he's rubbing the dog. He's rubbing the dog like a real dog.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Stormageddon. Oh. He knows it.
I wasn't very fond of these Cybermat design.
It's so weird to see James Corden here because I remember the first time I saw this episode. Obviously, I didn't know who he was, and I thought he was great. And it's just so weird to see him here and compared to what he is now. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that. It's just how his fame changed. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right, he still had that at this point. That sort of almost how do I word it? He felt like a normal bloke.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a famous bloke, but normal.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yes. Thank you for. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, today if Matt could come back, he still looks like he did for God's sake when he was in the role. So it wouldn't be a. It would just. I think it would just be scheduling with Matt. He'd want to. He said in interviews he'd come back in a heartbeat. So it would just be scheduling if they could get him for the 60th, and I just so want to see it. Now we know we're getting a 60th as well. Now we know we're actually
exactly. It's confirmed.
I don't want it just to be a Tennant affair. I'm sorry. I know people love Tennant, but I want Matt and Tennant, and if they can get Paul McGann, if they can...
Peter.
Well, that's the thing. I hope that would be lovely, but I don't know Melina.
I know. That's another thing.
With these comments of late, I don't know.
I know, but I have hopes because if Russell is going to take over, I have hopes.
Yeah,
that's another
I think
subject
hope,
discussed.
I think is the word for.
Yeah, I think it might just really depend on the script with Peter. Is the impression
exactly
if it's
that's why I
script,
think
it could tempt him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
God. I love the dynamic. It's amazing. It's just
this scene.
Could you call him any close
this.
doctor?
I miss this so much. The chemistry, the dynamic,
just the right amount of silly.
Look at the way he tries to kiss as well.
Oh, we could just hold hands. That makes you feel more comfortable.
You love me?
I have to be honest. I do like Russell T Davis' Cybermen. You're a bit clunky, but I've always liked these Cybermen. I just wish he had have done a different design, But he did the Cybermen well, actually.
I think he got the core of them right, which is they are body horror. They are humans.
Bad with the meter, actually.
Right, Cronenberg.
Yeah. But look at his face there. Oh, look at his face.
You needed to hear that.
Oh.
Wow. This
But you
is
did when he said when Craig said that line to him, you could tell he did need that. You could
You
tell.
really did. After Amy and Rory, this is an interesting sort of take of this little bit, this sort of part of the series of Matt, because he's almost. I think this is the most sort of shy. I'm trying to think of a better word. You will see Matt's Doctor. He's like you said. He's such a he loves hugging and touching, and he's very friendly. That's his Doctor. So it's almost like he's pulling back now, and it's interesting to see 11 almost retreating to himself. Probably that's the better word. He's retreating into himself now because of what's happened.
Oh yeah, this is a real woman. Yeah, this is a funny scene because he doesn't really understand what she's trying to say.
Oh yes.
She's been in a few things.
That's a nice store.
He wasn't talking about that. It's so funny.
I keep like he's in
Oh,
France.
and now he's interested.
Look at his face though. Does that serve? And he has a big smile on his face. They are deadly.
I love the comedy.
This goes wrong for poor Craig at first, doesn't it?
Oh yes.
Here we go.
What?
Yes, you would get security on a weirdo like this.
It's wow. James is so natural in here. Like he really can play a normal guy. What do you say, bloke?
Yeah.
He's in his element in this episode.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so different from what I've seen today.
Yeah, no, actually, I think this is probably a very different performance from Matt in this episode. Make a habit of it, sir.
Everyone loves the Doctor.
Oh my god. Hullabaloo.
The Doctor gets away.
I love the way he did the hand thing. She's a chatterbox. I think she would have made a good companion.
Yeah, she's not a bad sort of actress, is she?
No, she's not. She's very good in this, actually. And you know what? James Corden is not bad in this so far. Actually,
No,
you
it's
know.
not bad.
Yeah, it's near the end, like we said.
Yeah, it's the end scene that kind of ruins this episode, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Starship Troopers 3, isn't it? That was religion.
I love that. I love you. Don't start that again.
And then the Cyberman music in the background. I just love it, man. I just can't wait.
I hope Murray's back.
Look, Russell, I'm telling you now, right? I know there's a little bit of negativity out there because, 5 years of being told that you're not a fan and all this. I can understand it to a certain extent, but I honestly do believe that Russell is going to give us something absolutely amazing. And I can't wait for his era to begin. I want this era to hurry up and be finished, so we can get Russell back and get Doctor Who back.
Oh, hello, Daniel. I know I'm on
Hello.
camera. I know recently I've not been as much, but because I'm smiling, it's Matt.
Ah, ah,
Oh, I forgot this moment.
I know. Oh man,
Yeah. He's trying to keep clear of them.
he was
Yeah.
going to say something, but then he just decides to back off. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at his face, though. Look at his face.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so like.
Yeah, I remember
he's
they
gonna die,
made an
that's why.
appearance. An appearance.
Yeah.
And look at how delighted he is for her,
So
though.
proud of her, isn't he? You can see he's
Yeah.
like, that's my Amy. That's my girl almost.
Oh my god, I feel like crying. What the fuck? What the hell? Why am I crying? I'm
Well,
legit crying.
The girls are getting very emotional, folks. So
Look at
Because
Tony.
we're tired of waiting.
Shut up.
Oh, come on.
No, look at his
That's not
face.
fair.
when
I
Stephen Moffat is on it, Stephen Moffat is on it.
Oh, look
And
at my
that was
face now. Like all the brown is gone and now he's just sad.
Look at, oh my god, I'm crying. What the I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
think I'm bad now. You wait until his final episode, Noel. I'm gonna be in bits.
I know. I actually
Ugh.
be honest. I have to be honest, right? At that stage, I was actually sick of the two of them. But that scene, where the both of them jump off the roof, that tore me. That killed me, man.
It's,
And then when
it's
she's
Matt's face.
And then when she
It
when
is
she
Matt's
gets
face,
taken
isn't
away
it,
from the
Melina?
weeping angel, then and
Yes.
when Rory gets taken away from the weeping angel, and the doctor's pleading with Amy.
Yes, I was gonna say it's not the with me. I'm the
God.
same. It's not the scene when like they're jumping or any of that. It's the scene when Matt is and as the doctor is. He's just begging. Like there's no other word for it. He's begging her.
He's begging her to not do it, yeah,
Mhm,
and he's
mhm.
devastated. He's absolutely devastated.
And then, like I said, obviously in the special afterwards, you see the full fallout of him losing them, and he's just so amazed. Like the performance there as well. I think I really liked it as well because it wasn't a copy of Tennant. It wasn't
No.
like a moody copy of
No.
Tennant. It was very different. It was the same sort of core hurty feeling.
Exactly. That's
But it was
my
portrayed
goodness.
completely differently to Tennant, and they needed to do that.
So look
Right,
what
noisy kids in the
happens after
background.
the fact when he loses Amy and Rory permanently. He ends up then being up in the clouds. Do you remember? And that's when Victoria and Clara then
Clara.
he's been staying away. He hasn't done much since he lost those two. So their deaths, even though he knows they were in the past,
Blue
their
Sonic
death
Screwdriver
really
mode.
affected him big time. He was devastated when he lost those two.
Yeah.
Devastated.
I mean, it wasn't like and it also was like with Tennant, you've got like an anger with losing Rose.
Yeah.
With
Exactly.
Matt, it was more like a melancholy. I can't say that word. It was like he was just sort of retiring and being quiet and keeping to himself more.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Tennant, he just sort of got the Martha, didn't he? And then he sort of just he almost tried to put it in the back of his head almost, I felt, with Tennant and just move on his doctor. Whereas Matt's doctor couldn't move on from Amy and Rory.
Hey, Gobby guy.
Oh, that's why when you get to the day of the doctor 50th anniversary and David Tennant's doctor and him have that conversation, oh, you've forgotten, and David Tennant's doctor is actually annoyed at him because he's forgotten. But Matt Smith, the loss of Amy and Rory did tear him because
Yeah.
they were a
You said
family.
they were a family. It wasn't just
Proper fam. as they say nowadays. The rare
No,
proper
no, you're not allowed to
Not
say
a
that
fake,
word.
not a fake fan like the new one.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this scene. This is another one. Because he talks about. Does he reference Amy here and
I
Rory?
think so. Ah, he's just so good. Save the tears for later.
We all.
Oh, look at him.
That's what I mean. But I am old. And when Matt said it, you believed it. You so believed it.
Yeah.
I miss this so much.
This episode is a lot better than I remember, folks.
Yeah, I'm wow. Same.
Here we go.
Yeah. He really did love Amy and Rory. Because he didn't have the same relationship with Clara. You could
No,
see
it was
totally
completely
different
different.
dynamic.
It's different. It's absolutely different dynamic.
Oh, I love this when he
I
does.
didn't mind his relationship with Clara. I just didn't like Capaldi's relationship with Clara at first.
Oh, look at,
No, wait. No, that's another topic.
oh,
Till
look
Series
at that.
9.
Look at what he did in the background. That's
Oh, it
deadly.
was terrible in
All the
Series 8.
stars. Oh,
It wasn't Capaldi, it was Clara.
No.
look at his face.
Oh, I dreamt of the stars.
He's reflecting. He's taking almost a lot of his life now, isn't he?
No. Come on, Alfie, run.
They use the same set for Amy and Rory's house.
Oh, poor Craig here because
Oh, he doesn't no idea, does he?
he's no idea what's going on, yeah. And he's trying to ring him on the phone. Brilliant. Does he jump? Does he smash through the window? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
Dun 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 dun. Oh man, I miss this music.
This is Matt's theme. Do, 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 do.
It's so like heroic, you know what I mean? Like
But what I love about it, it's heroic, but it's scatty.
right.
It's so like obviously, when you think of heroic music,
Hey,
it's sort of
Doctor,
got a beat
something
to it, hasn't it? And it's got a way. But with Matt,
Yeah.
this is scatty, and I love that it matches him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit everywhere, just like his doctor.
Raggedy Man.
Mm-hmm. Then he thinks of his kid.
Look at that look now, because of
This is the line, yeah.
You've died.
Do you feel
Yeah.
safe with me? He's asking him the question there now, yeah?
I'm telling you, this whole episode is the Doctor reflecting. It's
Yeah.
him reflecting, trying to work out if it's almost worth him. I think. Now I'm watching this. Actually, I think he's almost deciding in his head during this whole episode, should I carry on with adventures?
Yeah, it's a bit of a waiting for God episode for the Doctor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's weighing up everything, and I think Craig was almost him giving another last roll of the dice with a companion to see how it went.
No. And Craig's asleep.
Yeah.
I die, is what he was going to say.
Pops his old regenerative clogs. Russell would put it.
That's the thing. He knows it's not a regeneration. He knows it's death.
Yeah.
Because Amy would have said you regenerate to him, but she said you die. So he knows.
What a good
Come
actor.
along, Bitey.
He's such a great actor.
Mighty, yeah.
And I love the way that Cyberhead, he calls it, what was the how Cyberhead called again?
Oh, Handle.
Handles. And that was sad when Handles died. His reaction to when Handles died, just...
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So I used to refer to my sister's dog as Bitey.
I do love this jacket he wears. I love this jacket. It's my favourite costume of his. I do like the short jacket, but I do like the longer jacket.
Yeah.
I just like it when the Doctor changes their outfit. I'm always been like that. I don't like it when any Doctor sort of has one outfit for the whole tenure.
Yeah.
I really like it when they have little changes. And I think Moffat got that right, that you can't just have one look for a Doctor. You need to mix and match almost.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about the figures for this. They didn't get the long jacket on the Doctor. Just kept the standard jacket.
Weren't these the Cybermen that were left over from the invasion, wasn't it?
I think they were like a ragtag sort of what was left.
Oh, they came back from the void, yeah.
It's why they're hiding, because they're weak. If you think about it, why?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a bit of a sequel to the next Doctor, I think. This one.
Yeah, because a full cyber fleet would not have to do this. This is a sort of, it's almost a bit like Dalek, in a sense, with sort of how battered that Dalek was. It wasn't in full power, so it was imprisoned.
Yeah.
I actually think he's all right in this, Daniel. He's not as bad as I remember, actually. I have to be honest. It's the ending that is stupid. I will say that. But he's not bothering me in this episode. I have to be honest.
You know what it is? He's not trying to be funny. You notice?
Yeah.
Then they haven't written him as James Corden, the funny man. They've just he's Craig. I think nowadays he's almost forcing his own humour too much in everything he does.
That's the thing.
Too not funny anymore. Whereas naturally he's funny, Corden, but now he's just forcing it way too much.
Yes, Charlie. That's what I saw, and I actually saw the movies, the Cinderella movie. Oh, excuse me.
I've heard so many bad things about that.
My father's calling me. Hang on, real quick.
Okay, the lead singer can't sing. Yeah. So what's the point?
I've heard it's not thinking. I've heard it's utterly badly written.
It's horrendous. The lead singer can't sing. What's the point?
Well, she's a singer, isn't it? So it seems to be the type of songs they've given her to do in it.
Yeah, she can't handle them.
Craig actually saves him here, doesn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, because the Doctor is captured.
It's a cool thing to do to the Cybermen, to have them all beaten up and smashed to pieces.
No, I'm not intelligent, you don't want me. I do like these Cybermen.
Yeah, I think they just didn't have the stomping I like the design. It's the stomping. I agree with people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I didn't like the stompy bit, but this right. I've always had a problem with this scene.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
But the reason why I've had a problem with the scene is that, let's be honest, Craig is not the thinnest man in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. Look at what they've built. Basically, his cyber suit is a plus size version. So that's what makes me laugh. Like, if you look at how they've designed the Cybermen in most of New Who up till this point,
yeah,
they didn't count the body sizes of people. They just all had the same look.
But you see, the thing about this is not a full conversion anyway. He's supposed to be fully converted. So this is, I never got this scene.
Oh no, it's a. I think Moffat got. No, sorry, this is Gareth, isn't it? But obviously, it was a Moffat trait of wanting to get to his ending of an episode and then realizing he had to wrap it up and save the day, and it was like, because this is my issue with it. I'm sorry. I know the emotional inhibitor is what they said is why in these Cybermen the emotions don't fight and they don't come through. But you're telling me that there wasn't any other human that saw something from their old life, and that wasn't strong enough to break the conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
I think
that's what I mean. Doctor just wants this because he's lost so many people. He just
he's desperate to.
He just can't take it anymore now.
Yeah. So why did it crack open if it's sealed again? That's my bit.
Think about what Rory said to him though. Before Rory trusted the Doctor, he called him out and said, "You make people want to impress you." So basically, you make people braver, and that's what gets them killed. That's how I've always read that line from Rory, and I think that's what the Doctor's almost beating himself up about in this.
He's like an insane content creator, isn't he? Oh. Yeah.
That is the thing with the Doctor. He does make people stand up and sort of say things that they naturally wouldn't say, which usually is framed as a good thing in the show.
Yeah.
That's the effect of the Doctor. But when that's turned against him, that's when it's interesting because
the strange thing about it is when this ship explodes, I think the building should start falling up, collapsing in a bit.
Oh, I forgot that line.
Yeah, that is
blew him up with love. Yeah, it's like the religion thing and Starship Troopers 3. It's like no.
It's almost like they're apologising now because he's trying to give a sciencey explanation for the line that just happened.
We beat the bugs through faith.
I mean, that thing, isn't it, of friendship will win the day.
I love this.
That's the one.
Together. She still thinks it's them two are together, which is hilarious. Yeah,
Look at Matt's face.
I know, yeah.
It's like, no, where have you got that from?
He cleaned the gaff and fixed the window, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the doctor would do. He wouldn't hang around. He would disappear.
Yeah. He's tired. Let's go back in time and then fix everything. Well,
Aw. Aw.
where is she sticking that sonic screwdriver?
Hmm.
He does now.
Look at his face. You can already tell.
He's bricking it. He's absolutely bricking it.
No.
Aw. He took the envelopes and all. That was for the. And
Oh, and this is where he gets his Stetson.
that's where he got the Stetson from. Yeah. Oh, look at his face. Look at him. It's all in the eyes, facial expressions.
But it's not even that. Like, look at what's Matt's doctor's famous for. He's always moving.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's still. His body's absolutely still. So that's another sign.
She still forgets her keys. He is so underrated. I agree.
I
Oh,
think
I know.
I think the thing is with Matt, he obviously was following Tennant, and I think almost because of it's weird, and I hope this happens with Matt because I've seen it happen with Peter's doctor. That Peter's doctor's now going through a proper re-evaluation in the fandom, and he's getting a lot more love now. So I'm hoping that happens with Matt's doctors next because he is sort of a bit of a weird in between now, almost between Tennant and Capaldi.
Oh, I love this line with the kids.
Oh, look at his face.
I was just a kid. Isn't it brilliant how Moffat does things like this, though?
But
So they're the kids, but they're talking in adult voices. So they're
yeah,
actually remembering when they bumped into him. Because River is obviously doing her investigations. Uh-oh. This is a great scene. I
Yeah.
forgot this scene.
Warren.
This is a great scene, though.
Madame Kavarian,
oh,
yeah.
it's her, yes.
Apparently she gets killed in the end off screen.
No, silence is behind her. Yeah, I do. I love the ending scene of this
I
episode.
forgot this was at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
There we go. Goes the clock. Tick tock goes the bleep. Die. And you see her in the lake. This is just epic. Tick tock goes the clock. Do 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 do. Tick tock goes the clock. Kills the doctor. Next time. Yeah, let's see. This kind of annoyed me then because Moffat was doing these little homages to fucking Steven Spielberg and other people in this episode.
Yeah, I could we'll see how I feel watching it again, but I can just remember feeling it was just another Moffat, too many things going on in one story type finale. We'll see when we get to it. I might like it more, like we said for this episode. We've all sort of said it's better than we remember.
So next week's episode is going to be a good one. Actually, there is some parts that I do like about it, but next week's one now is when it all starts coming together. But that end scene bumps up me rating actually, because before that end scene I was gonna rate it a little bit lower, but it gets a bit of a higher rating now because of that end scene, because that end scene was actually brilliant. And you see River being put into the suit. So I'll start off because I normally leave myself to last to do it. So I'm gonna give this episode a 7 out of 10. It's not as bad as I remember, I have to be honest. I still don't like the whole thing that Cybermen were defeated with love, but I can understand it to a certain extent. But there's just scenes in this episode where Matt Smith he gets to you. His facial expression. We this is the one thing we've said watching this era, myself and Charlotte especially. It's in the eyes and the facial expressions, his performance, and he knocks it out of the park yet again in this. Yeah, and when he sees Amy and Rory, I forgot that scene. That scene does get to you. Look, Moffat has his flaws, but I have to say when the Amy and Rory story with the Doctor is actually a pretty good one. I have to say, So I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10. And James Corden wasn't as bad as I actually thought he was, and he wasn't as annoying. So for that reason, I think it is generous to give a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 episode. To be quite honest, I think there are better stories to come from Matt Smith, but for me, it's a 7 out of 10. So Charlotte, what would you?
I'm torn between two scores, so I'll sort of say what I think first, and then see which one I go with. No, like I said, I think this is a weird. Sorry, I think this is a really interesting, actually, Doctor episode. Which I forgot how much of a character exploration it is for the Doctor. Like you said, he's basically waiting for his death, and he's having like this one last hurrah, almost this one last.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think he is almost testing, like almost knowing he's going to die. Was he a force for good in the universe? And he's trying to work that out because he knows he sort of gets, and that's like you saw at the beginning of this. I think in God complex when he was breaking Amy's trust in him. And that because he says then he talks about being selfish and needing the attention and putting people at risk. And once again, that's brought up in this. So I can't help think that's not a coincidence. I do think because the Doctor knows his death is coming, he's very reflective. He's looking almost back at his life at this point and is seeing, did he actually help people? Should he have taken companions almost? Should he have ventured out the way he did? And I think that's really interesting. I do agree. I think him and Corden have really good chemistry. You can tell they're good mates. They sort of bounce off each other very well. It's sort of like a quite an unlikely pair sort of comedy duo, but it works. Once again, Matt with kids, he's all the doctors are good. I think most of the doctors are good with kids, but I think Matt's doctor especially because he had that youthish energy and sort of spry. He just was so good with them on screen, and it showed. And I think that you saw that also with the scene with the baby when he was rocking him and like kissing him on the head and being very affectionate. But it was sweet with the stars. So I think you see a lot of Matt. I do agree. I almost feel like I said at the start, maybe this wasn't a cyber story. If they had the same core premise of the Doctor working undercover, working in a shop, finding out there's something alien underneath, and the whole it felt almost a bit like they were like, oh, we need to have our big like finale and end bit to the episode, but we've almost put ourselves into a corner here writing wise. How do we get out of it?
Yeah.
So, the power of love. It's sort of a bit of a tropey thing to do, and it's sort of a shorthand thing. If you don't know almost what you want to do to resolve it, you can just do that. So I agree. I think that sort of knocks a bit of this episode for all the good badly in it. So I think I'll do 7.5. I'll go in between because I was going between 7 and 8. An 8 because of the Doctor stuff, but 7 because of the ending and some of the more sort of more structural issues. So I'll put 7.5. So I'm in between.
Actually, your co-host actually agrees with you. He's giving it a 7.5. Great story, underrated gem, despite the return of the talentless Dunder-haired James Corden. Look, in fairness, right, and I have to say, fair play to you. We know what James Corden's like now, but you have to kind of judge this at the time and forget about. See, this is the thing as well that I see happening outside our community. You see, a lot of people will judge. Will say, "Oh, I'm not watching this now because this actor said this, that, and the other." Like, for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger. People are saying, "I'm not going to watch his movies anymore because of the stuff that he recently came out with." I'm not going to stop watching these movies because of what he said. Now, you basically, if you like the
Chris
movies,
Pratt's father-in-law.
Yeah, if you like the movies back then, it shouldn't change. You judge it on the characters that they play. So I think 7.57 is really is a fair score. I have to be honest. Melina, what do you think?
It's just Charlotte pretty much, and you also summed up my thoughts pretty well. Like the score, I'm in between 7.5 or even to an 8, and I'm trying to not be biased because I think I'm being a little too emotional, and let me explain why. Going back and watching this is what I miss about Doctor Who. This is what I miss about the Doctor. It's all about the eyes. It's all about the facial expression, the body language. This is something that I never felt, sadly, with Jodie Whittaker. Sadly, I felt nothing. It's when I watched all this series 11 and 12, I felt nothing. I did not feel not one single like emotional moment or this really heart-wrenching moment. And just going back watching this, I forgot what funny was. And James Corden with Matt Smith, the chemistry was absolutely amazing. And I mean, James Corden. That back then when I started watching him, like I said before, I had no idea who he was. I never know who the actors are in Doctor Who. I never know, right? Because like I said, I'm not from the UK, but he played the your average everyday kind of bloke. Is that how you say bloke kind of guy?
Yeah.
He played it so well. He was so natural. He was like in his element, and um it went so well, with this guy who is just normal versus a doctor who's a man in a box, right? So the dynamic was perfect. um i I really miss those moments where it made you feel something, because there's something in particular, right, especially Matt Smith acting, that really draws you in, and he draws you in how he feels and what he thinks. And my only, I guess, the only time I'll probably will criticize is maybe because it's too cheesy. Maybe the whole love thing conquers all. With the Cyberman, I thought that was a little silly. I'm not saying it's bad, but I think it's a little silly. Um, but the gosh, the ending of it, and with Matt Smith, with the TARDIS. Oh gosh, I can't, I can't deal with it. It's that's why I'm saying that I'm probably being just a bit biased, probably with the scoring, because it's just compared with what I've seen today, and this is something that I really miss about Doctor Who. And say what you will about Moffat or whatever, but I mean, this is a good era. This really was, and I think
I think for all of Moffat's faults, he understood the Doctor. I think that's ever fault
exactly.
you had with some of his
Yeah.
structure or his arcs or the way he might have written some things. You never
Exactly.
doubted that he didn't understand the Doctor.
Exactly. Well said, Charlotte. I feel like um I feel like when Russell passed the torch to Moffat, I think Moffat did it, respectfully. I don't know if you guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My English is always a mess.
Compared to
But
the recent series, yeah, we understand.
but what I'm trying to say is, like, when it's just so funny, and I'm sorry if I'm talking so much, but it's so funny because when you first seen this, there's always been a criticize, like, oh, I don't like when he did this or did that or this certain episode. But then when you go back, like Noel says, like, oh, it wasn't so bad. Watching it again, it's not so bad.
Mm,
And I don't know if it has anything to do
I
with
think it
the,
does have a lot to
I
do with
think
really.
it
what I'm
You
going to say.
think so?
Yeah, I
You
do.
think so?
Yeah.
I think this is why I'm saying, like, maybe I'm being too emotional, or we being too emotional. Do you think so? Because when like when I saw Jodie, that this is something I was actually desperate, right? For me personally, I was desperate to connect with this woman, this doctor, and I felt nothing. I felt nothing. And when you see Matt with his facial expression and his eyes and the way he's hurting, you know that the doctor is hurting. And this
Yeah.
is this is something that I love about Matt's doctor, is that Tennant, or excuse me, well, yeah, Tenth Doctor, he's suffered a lot, right? Matt Smith became like this doctor, like very happy-go-lucky, very juvenile kind of character, by heart. And he's trying so desperately to save people and not go the same way, the same suffering that his previous incarnation went through. And that's what he was, you see it in his eyes, that pain in his eyes. And that's something that it's I mean, that's something that I say that Moffat did very well. And I'm just gonna leave it here, because if not, I'll be talking all time, and PD PD should talk now. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm going to do a bit of a Keir Starmer. It's fine. Well, I'm just going to say what they said. 7.5. It's pretty much summed up exactly what I was going to say. Yeah,
So,
it's that ending. It's that ending.
Yeah.
The love wins, love triumphs ending. It's just
Right.
it.
Cheesy,
but-
a little cheesy.
Too
Yeah, but
cheesy.
what to add what Melina was sort of saying, I think the Doctor, yes, obviously for any role, dialogue is important. You need to have brilliant writing. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I do think that this is especially something you need for a Doctor, that you can give them a scene with no dialogue. I think all of the actors, bar and who we've all mentioned, you can give them a scene with no dialogue whatsoever, and you can trust them to just portray what you want. And you could tell the directors and the showrunners also knew their actors and knew that they could just trust them, just to almost linger on them for a shot without this dialogue. It doesn't need to be said, "Oh, I'm sad." Like that's never needed. It's just Matt just knows that he can just turn. It's like he has this switch. It's such a weird thing to explain. It's like he's got this switch that he can just go, right, now I've suddenly aged about 30, 40 years in the face without any makeup. I can just at a dime go from like being a very happy, snappy almost, or even like he did a bit of that in this episode. He can say a load of technobabble, which is not easy to do, a very fast, very sort of rate, sort of comedy. And then all at once somebody will say a line, and it's just all that sort of silliness is just gone. And it's
I
like
think I need to
now we have
thank
serious.
even Chris Chibnall. I think I need to thank Chris Chibnall because for the simple reason is going back and watching Matt Smith's era, there were a lot of problems to it, right? And we still haven't shied away. When we do have a problem with it, we'll call it out. But I think because of what he's done over the last 5 years with the fandom, with the show, I think looking back at all of these stories has shown us as fans how actually bad his era was. But on top of
Yeah,
that, it's
terrible.
also given us a renewed look at the Matt Smith era in particular. And it's kind of a retrospective look at what's happened. And I have to admit, maybe I was harsh back in the day because I kind of, like a lot of people, were kind of during the Matt Smith era. I watched it all, but I found every week when I was watching it, I was getting more and more annoyed. But that's gone away now completely. So Chris Chibnall deserves huge credit because you made us fall in love with Matt. You made me fall in love with Matt Smith's Doctor.
I was already there.
So thank you because you made me love Matt Smith's Doctor even more. So, but yeah, I mean, look, we're nearly finished this season now. It's not as bad as I actually remember it back then. But I think it's because of the rubbish, and I have to be honest with myself. I think it's because of what we have gotten in the last few seasons under Chibnall that has made this look like a masterpiece compared to what he's written. But there's no denying, and I think everybody on the panel will definitely agree. No, Matt Smith had the ability, like Peter Capaldi, that even if the stories weren't that great, they could elevate those stories. And I'm seeing Matt Smith in a whole new light now. And it's been a joy watching his Doctor. He has genuinely made me feel everything when he has been emotional, when he's been happy, when he's been angry.
Exactly.
I just love him. The more I watch Matt Smith's Doctor, the more I keep saying, is he better than Peter Capaldi? And I know that'll be controversial, right? Listen, I will say this though. I still think that Peter Capaldi is up there with Tom Baker and John Pertwee, right? I call them the Golden Trilogy, the Golden, the Golden Trilogy. But I'm gonna stick Matt Smith in there. I think Matt Smith is absolutely unbelievable. He's better than David Tennant. He's definitely better than,
I'm sorry, Tennant fan to you.
Eccleston. He is just sensational. Everything that he has done in this season and the last season that we watched as well, he is absolutely blown me away. So I'm like you guys. I just can't wait until we jump to 2023. because
Yeah.
you know a new era begins, and I want to have those feelings again. I want to be able to sit here and come on this channel and actually praise Doctor Who again.
We all
People,
want
yeah, people say that I'm negative for the sake of being negative. No, everything about this era has been dire,
Yeah.
and deserved the criticism that it
Dull
got.
to
Now,
dire, I
looking back at
describe
Matt
this era.
Smith's era, I was critical of it, especially on Facebook, because I wasn't on YouTube at that time or doing Doctor Who videos. I was doing slideshow videos, but I actually wasn't doing any reviews. So that's why I decided to do the new Who watch alongs, so I could get a chance to kind of do little reviews. But I'm gonna put Matt Smith up there as up there with Tom Baker personally, and John Pertwee. I think those two are pretty close anyway. Peter Capaldi and now Matt Smith. I think, you know, I don't think fans back then, and I was one of them, didn't realise what we had with Matt Smith, to be perfectly blunt about it. And you know what? I actually do. Yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't see this back then. But he is absolutely terrific. He has blown me away. I just, you know, I'd love to look 60th anniversary. I'd ring him up. I'd say, listen, I want you back for the 60th. I'd have him in the 60th, no
that's the
problem.
thing. I do think he'll do it. It will just be scheduling if they can get him.
Yeah. So look, you know, my apologies to Matt. You know, I didn't realize how good you actually were. But this era, this watch-alongs, these watch-alongs have made me realize just how powerful his doctor actually was. Emotionally, you know, he gets you every time. Those facial expressions, those eyes, even the dialogue, some of the dialogue from Moffat is just absolutely brilliant. You know, I still have my problems with Moffat. I'm not going to back down on that. But when he was on it, when Stephen Moffat was on it, he was on it. I have to be honest. And his Matt Doctor especially, he did it very well. And he did do Peter Capaldi's Doctor very well. Look, I know Peter Capaldi's fourth season kind of gets a bit of criticism because it was a little bit too dark. I think season 9 he got the balance right, but by season 10, the Doctor, the companion that he chose, and the stories that he had written for Peter Capaldi were just absolutely amazing. Season 10 is an underrated gem as well. I can't
Yeah,
wait
9
to
and 10
get
are
to
great.
Peter Capaldi's
Heaven,
Doctor, but right now
heaven sent.
I am loving Matt Smith's Doctor. I'm just blown away. He deserves. He has to come back. He has to come back for
Yeah,
the.
he really does.
And especially with Russell. I mean, I
That's the point. Yeah, Russell will be
Can
right.
you imagine him being written by Russell?
Never
Holy
had Russell right for him.
Yeah.
Oh, come BBC. I know you've been very good to us, but please, I'm begging, have Matt come back to the 60th.
and
Could you
Peter.
imagine RTD
Yeah,
writing?
yeah,
Could
yeah.
you imagine RTD writing for Matt Smith's Doctor?
Oh,
It's
please,
Peter
I can't do it 'cause I'm
Capaldi.
holding this,
My
but
God.
I'd be like begging hands if I could. Please.
Well, a
I'm
lot of
on
people
my
on
way,
Twitter have been using the hashtag "Thank you, Russell T." There's a hashtag floating around. Fans have thanked him for bringing joy to their faces again, and he hasn't even done that yet.
Yeah.
This is how powerful this announcement. This is how much buzz there is around the fandom right now. And no matter what the other side, they're being, you know, they're trying to drag fans down, right? They are. They don't like the fact that the fandom has reacted positively to this, and they've tried to attack people like
We got
myself
Luke
and others
Skywalker
out there.
moment, yeah.
I don't care. Attack away. I don't give a shit. You're not going to ruin this for me. RTD coming back was the best news that could have ever have happened, and he is going to save this show. And I don't care whether you believe this era was a success or not. It wasn't. I don't care what you all say. But he's coming back because they need him to save the show, and he will save this show. And I'm telling you now, that's how confident I am in RTD's ability. His writing has absolutely gotten better since he left Doctor Who. He is going to be sensational. I'm sorry, I know I'm bigging it up, but I honestly do believe that he will come true for us again, like he did when he brought the show back in 2005. I am just buzzing right now, and I'm still buzzing. And it's been a few days since the announcement, and I'm going to be buzzing for the next year. Even when we review Jodie Whittaker, I'm still going to be buzzing because I know what's coming after. So
Yeah,
I'm
same.
buzzing right
We know
now.
there's a light now. We know there's something afterwards. So I think
Yeah.
I don't know who I saw on stream say it. They said maybe this is another reason they announced it before Series 13. Maybe in a hope that the buzz would almost impact Series 13 when it came to how
It's not.
fans would see it.
It's not because ever since the announced, sure, Jodie Whittaker where fans were thanking her for a video that she did for a cancer patient, which is absolutely fantastic of her to do, and credit where credit is due. She did a lovely video, and she deserves the credit for that. But this RTD announcement has actually put
Saving
this
face,
whole
though, isn't
series
it?
13 on the back burner. Nobody, well, on
yeah.
their side anyway, where nobody it really cares now at this stage. Everybody is just like, right, get this era over now, so we can have Russell T.
That's
So
what it's going to be,
I
yeah.
don't know. Is this a deliberate attempt by the BBC as well to kind of shine the light away from Series 13 deliberately because they know such a shit show to distance RTD away from, you know what I mean? It seems rather blatant to me, if I'm honest. And listen, I'll be talking about. We were not finished talking about RTD, by the way, because next week I will have Marty on. I'm going to have Jack on as well. They want to talk about it. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about the RTD announcement, and I'm going to bring this up. Like, it does seem a kind of a blatant attempt by the BBC to kind of to announce this. Now nobody's really, except the people that actually are going to watch Series 13 are fans of this era. But for everybody else in the fandom, look at on Twitter, look on Facebook, everything. There was relief, even in the comments. Some people that I actually thought loved the Jodie Whittaker era, all of a sudden they're coming out and they're saying they can't wait for the RTD era. It has caused so much buzz. Series 13 is literally non-existent to people.
Well, here's the thing. Before the announcement, it wasn't that. Like we were saying, that they did that stupid Find the Doctor thing, and it found out.
What happened to that? What happened to that?
It happened exactly what I said was going to happen. Someone's going to find the real password in the code and just use it and put it in the distribute it.
All the big reveal, like the prize, whatever term you want to use, was basically a promotion photo.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I can send you over Facebook, and it was a stupid little
promotion.
Audio. Oh, I'm going to be late.
I knew it.
Since Series 11, Series 12 has had hardly any promotion. Series 13 has had none whatsoever. And as Lee Halford has actually rightly pointed out in the chat, we're only a couple of weeks, well, not a couple of weeks, we're a few weeks away from Series 13 premiering, right? We still haven't gotten another trailer, right?
I'm gonna predict this. We're not gonna get one.
Promotion is non-existent. There's no promotion whatsoever. So it's like as if they've given up. Look, I'm going to say it out straight. To me, it seems like the BBC have given up on this era completely. And they're just going to throw it out. They're just going to throw it out and hope that people fucking forget about it. I'm being honest. That's what I sound.
Just comparison. It's like another show I love, as you guys know, is The Witcher. And that two of that isn't out till December. We've had already one trailer, which when I looked at like the view count on the Netflix obviously channel, it was like 2 million or something. I can't get the exact numbers. It's a while ago. And then so remember, December the second season comes out, and they released 2 clips yesterday, and another trailer. Like months out, and
Series 3 of that show. They've also Series 3 of that show now. Series 2 hasn't even aired, and they've already come out and said there's going to be a third Witcher season.
That is how you get hype, BBC. Look at how they're doing The Witcher right now. They've just released, because that's the thing, they've not flooded with a load of trailers and clips. They've done one really good trailer, and they've just released 2 very short. They don't give away loads of information, but they're very good little clips for like a little like insight to where Geralt and Ciri are, and they're really good little clips. I'll send them to you, PD, if you don't if
Yeah,
you want to
sure
see
thing.
them. And I just thought, and it was funny because the comparison came to my head. I was like, this isn't out till December, and the amount of hype compared to Doctor Who, like you said, that's
Yeah.
going to be out next month. It's like, I know obviously Netflix and BBC are completely different things and it's different shows, but you can still compare for, like you said, the one seems to have no care and seems to just be they're putting it out just so they can put it out. Whereas with The Witcher, like they're excited. That's the feeling you get from the marketing for that show.
Exactly.
Whereas the BBC, there's no excitement right now. It's like I said, it's almost just, well, we've got another series because of the contracts. We'll just get it out whenever we can, and just we'll move on to Russell.
Exactly. I agree absolutely everything all of you said. I was just gonna say as well that I mean, how do I say this? I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, this is something that everybody, all of us, were trying to explain this on Twitter, that we start as with a constructive criticism, right? We're talking about the series 11 and 12, and in particular about Jodie, and we still obviously get attacked and harassed for it, and I blame a lot on the media, because the media, as soon as they, when the female doctor was announced, it's like, saying things like time for the white males to get scared or something like that, because the female doctor is going to take over. And so those, like the Mary Sue does crap like that. I don't know if you guys heard of the Mary Sue. Oh, I cannot stand them. And now that Charlotte mentioned, now that Charlotte mentioned The Witcher, I remember the Mary Sue mentioning something about Yennefer, saying like, "Oh, Yennefer did something that says F all men, fuck all men. I am a woman."
They were trying to basically say Yennefer's going to be another like Rey Skywalker type of character.
There you go.
She was not a look at me, I'm powerful. And I've said this is why I understand, because of all the stuff that's happened in shows, why people are a bit scared. But if you look at how they actually did the female characters in The Witcher, they do not bash the blokes. They do not spend the whole time saying, look at me, aren't I powerful? Not in the way that it's overdone. They're just they just happen to be very powerful characters in the world. And
exactly.
That's what they just happen to be. It's not, they don't use that as like a stick to beat the male characters with at all.
Exactly. And that's the point, like the female doctor, and that's something that these people who harassed all of us on bullied on Twitter, is like I mentioned, I was like, hey, I was actually looking forward to Jodie. I thought it was going to be very interesting take, because here's the thing, Noelle mentioned that, oh, Matt Smith is better than Tennant. What I personally see is that each doctor gets better, and each doctor or actor portrays the doctor based on like the life experience. Let me explain here. So for example, the ninth doctor, Eccleston, he went through the Time War. He was cold, he was more distant, but at the same time you can tell that he was, kind of like lonely, right? He was desperate for a companion. That's why he wanted Rose. And that's the thing, like this is canon, obviously. Like, he fell in love with Rose. It's true, he loved Rose. That's why he regenerated. It's all psychological, right? That's why he regenerated to David Tennant. So David's it's not that David Tennant's doctor is better than Eccleston. It's just like it gets, I don't know how to explain it. It just it gets
like, Melina, this is, I don't know, this is what you're trying to say, and you can like add to it, obviously. I've always said every regeneration has to impact the next one.
There you go. Yes,
It can't be separate entities.
Thank
they
you.
have to impact each other. There has to be a through line that you can say
Thank you.
that action or that speech or that sort of something they've said has come from what happened in a previous regeneration almost.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for like always. My translation box is defective. I suck at it. I'm awful. You better at this than me. I hate I hate when I can't English. But thank you for summing it up. I appreciate it a lot. But yes, that's what I was trying to say. Like, and Matt Smith fit the shoe so well, and Noel was saying like he felt kind of bad, like, oh, like now I go back watching this, like I do because when David Tennant left, it took me a while to actually warm up with Matt Smith at the beginning, and I think that's natural for any Whovian, right? I think that's natural. It's normal.
No, it's natural, and I think it's so. I was going to say it's hard to remember, but it's not, because Tennant is still as much of a presence as he ever was. But it was such a thing of like, God, who's going to be able to fill his shoes?
Exactly.
It was a real like, who are they going to get? Nobody can almost touch the king. That was the feeling of it.
Exactly. There you go. And same way with Peter Capaldi. Now I was curious, but I remember I watched a classic Who, and when I was saying like, hey, there were I don't want to use the word old, right? There were mature. There we go. There were mature actors who played the Doctor, so I didn't know what was the fuzz about Peter Capaldi. But again, I was worried, like any Whovian, to fill the shoes, and why Peter Capaldi's Doctor was good is because like. He why they make it he's what do you say, cold, and I'm not the hugging person. It's because what Matt Smith Doctor went through, especially when he was in Transalore, all these years by himself, all those time, trying to save people. It that's what it is. And even though there's character development, even so, right? You see character development with Peter Capaldi, or the 12th Doctor.
Because I've always read it as Capaldi's coldness, even though it was a shock and I struggled with it at first. Now, sort of being a bit older, realizing that was a reaction to Matt's Doctor.
Exactly.
He gradually made his mask go off.
Exactly. There you go. And that's what I mean. Like, you have to kind of look back and see why it makes sense, right? How they adapt, or why is this Doctor the way it is and not like how it was like Matt Smith or David Tennant. If it makes sense, again, I apologize if I'm not making sense. Please let me know, because my English is terrible sometimes. But and let's go back with Jodie. Jodie. I thought it will make sense. Obviously, she was going to be very quirky, very happy. It's because of what Peter Capaldi went through. 12th Doctor went through, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, so what's Jodie's Doctor? Is she going to be like a Matt Smith or David Tennant? How she's going to be? How she's going to react, right? And I felt like she was really lost, and that was the criticism that I was giving on Twitter before they, bullied me off there, that I felt like she had no connection with the Doctor. Like she did not, like she was lost, and she gave up too soon. Like, oh God, she said it like in a podcast with David Tennant. She's like, oh, I only watched a few episodes, and it was not working for her at all. And that's what I was trying to say. It's like I felt like she
didn't have the, and then we'll wrap up, because I know Noah has a certain tea he has to make. It's she didn't have the connect to us. I noticed, and we're not denying the fans who have seen it, and I think that's what needs to be said here. If you've seen the Doctor in her, brilliant. I wish I could.
Mm-hmm.
I so wish I could see the Doctor in her, but I just can't.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what we need to sort of, I think, just say.
In the 2 seasons and the specials that she's done, there has been 2 moments that I've openly admitted where I felt like she was the doctor. And that scene was the first scene was when she went back to Gallifrey and she looks out at the TARDIS and she sees it's destroyed. And you can see her.
Oh, yes.
Now that time did get to. I said, "Holy shit! Why can't she
Mhm.
be like that all the time?" And in the latest festive special, the parts that she was in, there was a couple of scenes where I thought, "Yeah, now she's starting to," but it's too late. It's too
Yeah.
late.
Come
It
on,
is
the
too
last
late.
minute.
The flaws with this era are simple, right? Or Chris Chibnall, right? Big part of it. But unfortunately, he put her in a position where he gave her this role that I honestly do believe that she was way out of her depth. He shouldn't have cast her. But she didn't help herself either with the statements and the comments that she was making
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So for any, as I said, I will never ever regret the things that I said about that woman when she took the role or the comments that I made because she didn't help herself. And if I had been
No.
a PR manager, right, I would have told her from day one, see that statement that you just made, we're not going to have any more statements like that.
I would
It's
delete
done,
it. Yeah.
right? It's done. You've got to win fans over, not
Exactly.
alienate the fandom. But
Mhm.
nobody gave her that advice. And
Mhm.
Chris Chibnall, in all fairness, gave her the worst advice ever. Play the
Mhm.
script. You don't play the script. You go and research the role. Now, I'm not saying you have to, because some people out there said, "Oh, all of these not my doctors think that you have to be a fan of Doctor Who to play the Doctor."
Never
No,
said that, Matt Smith
but I
was.
do
I
expect,
never said
like
that
what Matt
exactly.
Smith did, right? He wasn't a fan of the show, but he did and watched the
Did his
episodes and
bloody
became a
research.
fan,
Yeah.
right? And did the research. She did it after the fact, after she got called out for not doing the research, right?
Yeah.
But it was too late. It was too late. But there has been a couple of moments where I said, well, if he had a went down this route with our doctor, maybe she wouldn't have got as much stick as she got, but she still plays it very badly compared to the rest of them. But there were, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there wasn't a couple of scenes where she convinced me because there genuinely was. But it was too late. It was too late. And unfortunately, even if Series 13, a lot of people are speculating, especially those that have put out rumors, are speculating that Chris Chibnall will go out on a high and so will Jodie Whittaker, and that will surprise fans. But I'm sorry, it's 5 years too late. We should have
Yeah.
got this for Series 11. So don't be telling me,
Way
oh,
too
they're going
late.
to get it right now, right? How many times are all of these fans going to make excuses for her and excuses for Chris Chibnall? It's so bad that they've had to bring back the man who brought back Doctor Who in 2005. So if that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know, I don't know what will. But I'm glad that this era is ending, and I look forward to the future with
Oh
art.
yeah.
I have to be honest, I am buzzing, and I'm
Mhm.
still buzzing. And you heard Marty's reaction. He was so overwhelmed that he actually left the stream. He could not
Yeah.
stay on the stream because it meant so much to him. This is how much this announcement that even I before I came on, right? When I was putting it up, the title of the video, right? And I seen the article, it didn't hit me right away, right? I was even saying to Shaw, maybe I don't know. I was kind of like, oh, will this work? I was like that. And Cheryl just said to me, she goes, look, it's RTD. And then when I came
Yeah.
on the stream, right? When I started the stream, it hit me. He's actually coming back. And
Yeah,
then all the good moments of his era flashed forward in me head.
Mhm.
I actually got quite emotional. I got very emotional, I did. And that's why you hear me at the start of that stream, I let off a big scream. I didn't care. I was like, woohoo! I couldn't believe it hit me there, right? But poor Marty, Marty got me bleeding, going. I
so
have
he
to
goes in
say,
the chat and
the bloke just bleeding. I just start. Oh man, it is. I'm buzzing. I
Mhm.
just can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm still in tears of joy, says Daniel. Listen, this means, as Lee says there, it means so much to us all. For 5 years, we've been told that we're not part of this fandom.
They
We're big
deserve this.
sexist.
Yeah.
This is. Look, it's not just us that deserve it. The British public deserve a show that they can be proud of again as well. And I think RTD will bring back respectability to this show. Because remember, before he brought it back, not many people would admit they were a Doctor Who fan. Under him, we were loud and proud to say that we were Doctor Who fans. And now we'll be able to do that again. We'll be able to be loud and proud once again and say, yes, I am a Doctor Who fan.
I was going to say, just imagine the first episode of his proper era with the new Doctor, because we know the 60th is the first thing they're going to do. Just imagine whoever is cast, because I do think Russell will cast whoever he really trusts and who he really thinks can bring the character out. I do believe that. Just imagine whoever it is, the first time they say, "I'm the Doctor." And I think that's going to be a moment when we're all going to be in tears, because that's when it's going to be real, I think. When we see this new incarnation, when we see the new era, when we have that first, basically, like Matt on the rooftop moment, or Christopher Eccleston grabbing Rose's hand and saying, "Run."
Run.
Like those moments, when we get those again, I think that's going to be such an emotional moment for the
and even in the Christmas Invasion, where David Tennant's Doctor comes out of the out of the TARDIS, is it out of the TARDIS? He comes out of the TARDIS and then he does the whole when we get a moment like that, I agree. I mean, when Jodie Whittaker said I am the Doctor, I cried, but it wasn't tears of joy, it was devastation. I was absolutely gutted. I'm not gonna lie. It won't be Ollie Alexander. I think people need to knock that on the head as well.
He doesn't want to do it. Russell wants him, but he doesn't want to do it.
He's not going to do it. He's too young to play. Well, he's not too young to play the Doctor, but he looks too young looking to play the Doctor. No.
He'll interfere with his music career and he doesn't want to do it. That's why.
No.
Twice he said it.
So maybe being a companion or being in the show in some capacity as maybe a villain, or maybe someone that's a supporting cast member that shows up in an episode. But he's not going to be the Doctor. He's not. There's already a list of names which I can't mention, but there is a list of names, and he's not part of that list. It will not be Ollie Alexander. So
I think Russell was having a bit of fun when he said that in an interview. Honestly, not to knock Ollie, but he was having a bit of fun. I think
he's got a young looking face. I know he's in his 30s and all, and I think he's around the same age as Matt or something. But But Matt Smith had an old looking face for a young guy. Unfortunately, Ollie. And it's no disrespect. He has a young looking face for a man of his age, so he looks good for his age, if you know what I mean. But he looks younger. So seeing him on screen as the Doctor, I couldn't take him seriously like I can't take Jodie Whittaker seriously, because I don't think he could command. He's a great actor, don't get me wrong. In the stuff that he's done, he's terrific. But this is the Doctor. This is another step up, another level up. I think fans keep forgetting that. This is another level up. So you need to get someone that will show some personality and a bit of gravitas on the screen and command the scene. And don't get me wrong, in the stuff that Ollie's done in those particular TV shows that he's done, he does well. But Doctor Who is a step above what he does. Again, this is what I said. Jodie Whittaker, the stuff that she's done is probably 2-3 levels below Doctor Who. That's why we needed all these companions, because even Chris Chibnall knew himself she couldn't command the scene. And since she took over the role, she still hasn't commanded the screen. So, no.
In the chat, I think a more likely name as a possible Doctor is actually Russell Tovey, because Russell has worked with Russell. That's odd. RTD, that makes it easier, has worked with Russell Tovey. And I think he could pull it off. So if I were to say a possible name from who Russell has worked with before, this is more what I'm pulling from.
Yeah.
So in the chat, I think Russell Tovey is a good shout.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Oh, who am I? Oh, Alonso? What?
Right, but listen, we're going to be, as I
Oh,
said,
Alonso.
next week. Obviously, we're doing the normal watch-alongs, but I'll also be doing streams during the day as well, because Marty wants to come on now, but we're finishing up now. So what I've done is Garminator is coming on tomorrow. He wants to talk about the announcement. Then Marty, if you want to come on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe let me know, and I'll bring you on individually, and I have to bring Jack on as well, who wants to talk about it. So next week we're going to be talking a lot about RTD. We're going to be talking a lot about RTD now over the next couple of weeks. So, Mark, if you want to come on Tuesday, let me know. I don't know why everybody is laughing, but I'm trying to. Can you just, can you just wait for a second till I finish up what I have to say, and then you can laugh to use a heart. But yeah, so I'll be bringing on people all during the week to do individual streams because obviously the panels, everybody, we were all excited the last panel, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to say what they wanted to say. So what I'll be doing is individual panels. So Marty, if your Tuesday evening suits me, well, it'll be Tuesday, yeah, but it'll be, obviously we're doing the Rick and Morty stream, so it'll have to be around 6 or 7 o'clock Tuesday, because we do Rick and Morty at 9. So let me know if that's okay. So I'll have Garminator on tomorrow. We'll have Marty then on, he says Tuesday, and then I'm hoping to get Jack on maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'll have to send him a message now, see what day he's available. But we'll be doing plenty of streams. I have actually asked, hold on, I'll tell you now if he's given me a time, actually, because I have actually asked Garminator what time. So, right, 8 or half 8, but we do the movie stream tomorrow at Bleeding 9.
Well, maybe just for this week, it's up to you, mate. Maybe miss out a few of the. Obviously, not. Maybe just miss out the movie.
Postpone it for a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's such big news. I think everybody will understand if you maybe just cut.
You are called the TARDIS Zone after all.
On some of the non-Who things, maybe just for next week.
Right, I'll have to take, because as you have noticed, Real Super Doctor hasn't been here this weekend because he was away. So I'll have to I'll tell him that the movie stream is cancelled. But there you go. Can't be helped because we are primarily a Doctor Who channel, so this is big news. I'm gonna make a few notes about what I think he should do and avoid. But yes, 6 or 7 suits me. Fantastic. So as I said, we're gonna have and if there are other people that would like to come on individually that weren't on the panel and would like to come on and talk about this, let me know. Send me a message, and we'll see what we could do. But look, we're going to be talking about Russell T for the next next few months ahead. To be quite honest with you, so it's an exciting time to be a Doctor Who fan. And by the way, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed to me over the last 24 hours. Believe it or not, we're only 21 subs away from 2,000 subscribers now. 21 subs. Jesus, I can't get over that. So we're 21 subs away from 2,000 subscribers. I'm blown away by the amount of support. Someone, actually, I want to read this message out. I received this message on YouTube, and this message just kind of, it got to me. It actually got to me. In a nice way, I have to say. This is nothing negative, but someone put up a lovely message, and I want to read it out because I have to say, I when I seen this message, I was like, wow. Some people are just so nice out there. So this is the comment. God bless you, Noel. What a good soul. I'm thrilled at this news and I'm cautiously positive that he'll course correct at least in some way. Stay strong, mate. You have more supporters than the few idiots. Enjoy the excitement. I thought that was a lovely comment. God bless you and you have a good soul. I mean, that is absolutely lovely. And if you look at the
Positive's how I am as well, just for the
yeah,
record.
and if you read most of the comments in the video where RT the Tartar Zone talks, it's all positive. There's not one person being negative uh in the chat, which is nice to see. I think, while some fans would still like Russell to totally retcon what's happened, we have to be honest, folks. I don't think a full retcon is ever going to happen. They can't just dismiss this era because we don't like it. Because it's like think about it logically, folks, right? Look at the Star Wars sequels. They will never retcon them, right?
No.
So they're not going. It's the same with Doctor Who, and I think people need to move away from that way of thinking. Look, at the end of the day, the man who brought Doctor Who back in 2005 is coming back to the show. That is something to be positive about. It really is. Now, I know people will be waiting to see what his casting choice is going to be for the Doctor and companion, and then maybe a lot of fans there then will make up their mind whether they're going to support them or not. But I would just urge people to take a step back and just wait and see. I'm buzzing, I have to be honest. But let's just wait and see, because we don't want to give any of these fans that have been attacking us for the last 5 years any excuses, to come after us. I am really, really looking forward to what RTD does, and I'm beyond excited. So we'll see where that goes. But look, we're going to leave it there because we could talk all night. We've gone past the 2 hour. These streams are only normally an hour and a half or an hour, the new Who ones, but because of obviously what's happened. With the big announcement, obviously we had to touch on it again, especially when we do New Who. We touch on it again. But look, we're going to leave it there. PD has put the links to the channels in the link description. By the way, my second channel is the Irish Geek. It's my gaming channel. We got 7 subscribers. So yeah, there you'll see me lose me shit at people when I'm playing games because they won't protect me when I'm trying to kick ass and stuff like that. Just be really funny.
I need to play.
Arguments with the people I'm streaming with, but it does be great because we do be friends. You know what I mean? You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. I'm very competitive as well. I have to be honest. But the Irish Geek is my second channel, and you can check Teddy's channel out as well. He has a YouTube channel as well. Go and check out his YouTube channels. Cheryl does throw up some videos of Ted and stuff like that. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well if you're that bothered. And actually, my followers have jumped on Twitter as well, which is amazing. I'm buzzing.
That's good.
I think a lot of people have realised that this channel ain't no fraud when it comes to Doctor Who source information, and I think people are starting to cop on now because as Lee has said on Twitter as well, if you want, proper source information and rumors, this is the only channel. I'm telling you now to come and support, and because we get some lovely juicy information. Now, obviously, a new era is going to begin, so we'll see if we can still get some information. Obviously, when a new era starts, there's under Chris Chibnall there was a huge clear out, but we'll see what happens under RTD. Will he do a whole clear out now? And obviously, if bad
I think he'll be repatriating a lot of the old team.
So So I'm buzzing. But we're going to leave it there. So we will talk to you tomorrow. We're going to have a very, very busy week. We've got loads for you to look forward to. We'll have Rick and Morty on Tuesday. I'm not cancelling that bloody watch along anyway. I can tell you that. You've won me over, Noel, says Lee Halford. listen, it's not really about winning fans over, but I am trying to be positive, and I think there is a lot to be positive about Lee because look at what he did in 2005. He made us all fall in love with Doctor Who again. You know, the late 80s was a bad time for Doctor Who. He brought it back and he made us all fall in love with Doctor Who again, and I think he'll make us fall in love with Doctor Who all over again. And I do honestly believe, you know, I know people have doubts about him coming back and destroying his legacy. I don't think so. I think he's going to cement it even further.
Yeah.
I think he's going to cement it even further. And I don't know how long he'll stay as showrunner. But as far as I'm concerned, the longer the better, you know, because we need this. And not just us, but the British public need to be proud of Doctor Who again. And I think he'll make that happen. So with that said, I'm going to say good night. Panel, if you want to say good night to everybody in the chat.
No, I don't want
Bye.
to. I don't feel like it. Oh, yeah. Good night.
And as I said, all the links to the channels have been put in. PD has put them in the chat though, and check them out. And Daniel says, bring on 2023. Yes, we're here, Daniel. Can't wait, man. And I can't wait to have you back on panels when the RTD era comes back and have a bit of fun. And hopefully we'll be sitting here and we'll be, look, I know
Finally.
these stories are going to be great. I know they are. I don't even know what he's going to write, but I already know it's going to be great because he gave us some of the best two that we've had. So I'm buzzing. Right, I'm gonna go. And as the PD said there, scroll up for the links there. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming on, panel. And I'll see you guys in the chat very, very soon. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Enjoy these next few weeks and months and the next year, you know, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have I can't wait now. Doctor Who magazine is gonna have an interview and all with this guy. It's gonna be, I'm telling you, we're in for some treats over the next couple of months. And Evil of the Daleks as well has also apparently dropped, and the animation is not as bad as people were thinking. So that can only be positive. That can only be positive, and hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on Evil of the Daleks, and then we can review that as well. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna give you these sensational outros and intros and stuff. So, see you soon. Have a good one. Melina is already laughing. I don't know why
I'm.
she's laughing, but we're gonna leave it there. So
Picture,
here we go. Bye, Peter Capaldi's face. Yeah. Bye. Back off. I'm only messing. Right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Why not? Just to the end. Just be kind.
One more thing before I do go. Russell, this is the man that we would like to see as the 14th Doctor. So I know you're not watching, but if you were watching, this is our choice. And he's won 2 polls, by the way. So the British public are behind him as well. Hashtag Shane for 14, folks.